Hello IT professionals. Today we will know how we use one of the feature of Docker. It is Docker Compose. It means we can divide the services which we need to support of our application by the servers, something like in enterprise big systems. Let's see. This is single mode of Docker. When you start the Docker container from the some Docker image, install the some needs application and some needs packages, install your application on this container and run it, on the some servers. It is good when your application is not so big and no any critical systems running on your system. But let's imagine it is big bank or big company who have to be more careful about services with some crash avoiding system. In this case, those companies have to be implement something like clusterization, and Docker of course have this feature. Today we will organize few Docker containers with the few application and some needing packages for organize and then organize this in one of the environment for possibility to running to our application. First of all, of course, we have to install the Docker. Sudo apt install Docker Compose. What do we need? Yes, it is installed. And then, of course, we have to make our first compose file. We can go to the documentation and read something about this. But my advice: start from scratch according to your assumptions. Let's make our first file. He have to be YAML format, and his name have to be dockercompose.yaml or YAML is the same. I will do it on UI because I would like to see the highlighting of our texts. Let's try to start. Okay, according to the documentation, all of our files have to start from version. It is not version of Docker or not version of YAML format. It is version of compose file format. He have to be suitable for Docker engine version. Let's try to find our Docker version. It's 19. Yes, we can use the last of them, but my strong advice: do not run to latest versions of the compose file format. Why? Because it can be issue in future about distribution of your files. Some guys in some places can have only Docker 1 or 13, or something like that, just because, or just some strong requirement from the IT department, or some requirements from the security department, especially if it is in some big bank or in some big company. Just use something like middle. I would like use the third version. What's the next? Yes, the next one, we have to list all of our services. Each service will mean each container with your packages and with your applications, with your environment variables. But I would like to go by some short way. At the start of this video we will try to organize some kind of LAMP server. And in this case, I will search our needings packages for example, MySQL, and each image on the Docker Hub have to have a lot of the documentation. And I was surprised when I found in this documentation Docker Compose oriented information. By this documentation, according to this part, you can just copy them into the services part, and it will be works as is. But I would like to make something custom. Okay, we already copied them, and we already can do something, but in our case we will do something special. I mean something tunes. Okay, first of all, expose the port. For why? For having possibility avoid some crossing the port forwarding on my local machine or your machine. Exposing makings by the ports command. As you know, MySQL, we choose MySQL. MySQL runs on the 3306 port, and we will do port forwarding to, for example, 55. Let it be. Why not? Next string means okay. Start from scratch. These parts db and adminer are some I don't know, something like application. It's not some instructions. It is some aliases for your personally and for Docker server for describing which container names. It's some kind of container names just for aliasing. Okay, first string means we will use image MySQL. This. We will use the next command. This command actually I found in the documentation, and also this string describe it in this part. I mean, it's some kind of exposing the default password to the some authentication plugin. Next string restart. What it means? Every time when this container, I mean not container, this application on this container, I mean MySQL, will be fault. Oh, no, I'm wrong. It means every time when container will fault, he will be restarted every time. Depend on the reasons. Next one, environment. We can describe some additional environment needs for our application. Next one, I don't like to use the adminer. Let's use we need also PHP, as you know from start of video. What about PHP? I think it is exist as this. Official, fine. Yes, just PHP. We can describe also version, but in our cases, never mind. Image. And good tradition for your career, I think, will be describing also container names. It can be really useful in future when you will have a lot of these containers. It will be database DB engine, for example. Let it be DB engine. Next one. No, let it be DB server. Without spaces, of course. PHP engine. What else? We can also expose ports. Let it be something unusual. 9,000. And we can make the next feature. It is some trick I think, by the Docker. What it means? Volume as I remember, volumes. What it means? We can mirror all of our file system inside the container onto our local machine. For why? If some our peer from our team, for example, our developments or our QA teams, starting to editing files inside the container, all of these changes will be mirrored in our local files for avoid some losing some our files. It can be really useful for database files, but my strong advice do not to do it, because in this case translation the information between your database on your under your container and your database files will be a little bit slower, and you can getting some disadvantages by this way. My strong advice making this only for some configuration files, or only for some local environments in text files, or in our case storing some our HTML or PHP files for our developments. Okay, let's see. We will store these files in my folder www expose from. If I correct, it place it on the bar www.html. What else? What we can lose? Okay, we will see it on the start. What about our web server? Let it be Apache. If it exists on the Docker Hub. HTTPD. Okay, what about second version? Looks like okay. What about search? Yes, it is exist. Okay, fine. Let it be Apache 2 image. Okay, after some googling and searching, I've stopped on this image, Web DevOps Apache. According to documentation, we have to use this. Okay, what else? Container name. You have to describe some environment applications for Apache as usual. This environment for describing when Apache will be store the HTML files according our last edits. We are know where we will store our files, and Apache have to be familiar with this place. Okay, and also I think we can make volume. Wrong tab. And it looks like it will be enough. Okay, port forwarding also. As we know, he running on the 80, let it be on 70. Why not? No, 71. And forwarding for SSH secured traffic. Okay, let it be the same. I'm not sure I will be correct. Okay, next, one of the most important feature in big container composed files, it is links. What it means? It means this container have to wait the some containers. In our case, it means Apache, of course, have to be run last after PHP and after database. Vice versa, and in other cases we will getting some errors. Okay, and now we try to start him under Docker Compose. Docker Compose up. Typo. Lost letter. Once again. Yep. Now Docker try to find these images, pull him and compose in the one of the container and try to start. And now it looks like our container one by one starting. Now I think we can knock in the web page on one of them. Which port? Apache 71. Yes, looks like it works. Your containers runs. How we can kill him? Ctrl+C. Now you can see the folder which was used by one of our container running under container compose. It is our work directory. Also, you can use it for keeping your configuration database file on your PC. Next time. Why next time? Right now I will try to stop and delete. Yes, we already stopped it, and I will delete all of the containers and images. How we can do it? Down. Yes, I remember. Command down. Yes, and now we touch little bit the Docker Compose feature. On the next video, I think we will continue to know something new about Docker. Bye bye.